Sometimes I think the folks at the Fox propaganda outlet have a bit of a love of getting humiliated, maybe a little soft spot for having themselves made fun of, ripped to shreds, embarrassed on their own shows. And one person who stands out above all the rest in that regard is Jesse Watters, who is consistently making a fool of himself with the things he says, certainly on The Five, getting called out by Jessica Tarloff, but even on his own show. He's been humiliated by his mom. He's been humiliated by his guest. And in an instance last night, he was humiliated by one of the great hosts of Pod Save America, Tommy Vietor, who called him out to his face, shut him up on his own show, and I think made him regret bringing him on. And we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, of course, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now let's get into this interview with Tommy and an embarrassed Jesse Watters.
Tommy Vietor is a co-host of Pod Save America and former Obama spokesman. How many genders are there, Tommy? How many genders are there, Tommy?
The honest answer, Jesse, I don't care. I'm a libertarian. I don't care. Be what you want to be. You can be what you want to be, Jesse. Live your truth.
Well, I'm not a Democrat, and that we know. What happened to the party? Whose idea was the coup?
There was no coup that I'm aware of. January 6th was a long time ago, and that didn't result in Donald Trump staying in power. If you want to talk about the pardons,
there was no coup
though,
with Joe Biden?
No, I mean, Joe Biden was decided not to continue running.
Oh, he decided himself.
I think a lot of members of the party made a case to him that he was probably going to lose and lose badly.
Made an offer he couldn't refuse.
Sure.
And now he doesn't have a library.
Let's talk about the pardons for a minute.
Sure.
I think Joe Biden's decision to pardon his family sends a terrible message to the world. I think the presidential pardon power is far too expansive. I would love to see Congress come together and pass a constitutional amendment that says you cannot pardon yourself, you can't pardon your family, you can't pardon your staff. I think all your listeners would support that.
Why did he pardon his family? Preemptively.
But I also think it sends a terrible message to pardon people who beat the crap out of police officers on live TV.
Yeah, they were overcharged.
Wait, Daniel Ball assaulted a police officer and threw an explosive device at the Capitol entrance that detonated on 25 cops.
Yeah, they were definitely overcharged. But Trump ran on pardoning Jan 6ers, and the country voted for him. So in a way, the country voted for these pardons. But let me ask you, why did he pardon Fauci?
I don't know, because Donald Trump put him on an enemies list, and Fauci was a man who was just doing his job in the midst of a pandemic.
I haven't seen this enemies list. Can you show me this list?
Yeah, read Kash Patel's book, The New FBI Director. You should check it out. It's not a long book.
I haven't seen the list yet.
Why are we
I know there was
pardoning
FBI agents on the ground on January 6th, and then they destroyed evidence in the committee, and then everybody gets preemptive pardons? What's that all about?
Just doing kind of a greatest hits of conspiracy. Are we going to do lab leak now?
Where
do we want to go next?
Was there a lab leak?
Jan 6 and FBI inside job?
Did you think the virus just came out of nowhere?
Jesse, Donald Trump won, okay?
Yeah.
Like, we can move on from this stuff, okay? Now,
Oh, I'm not moving on. No, I'm not moving on, Tommy, because you guys deserve this. Your party's broken. What the hell happened? I've never seen your party so out of shape. You got nothing here. You got nothing here. What are you guys doing?
Jesse, the Democratic Party had a tough cycle. You guys now control the White House, Congress, the media. You got social media with Elon Musk.
We control the media now?
You got Mark Zuckerberg bending the knee and sitting on the dais, supplicating himself to Trump. So Democrats are down bad. We need a new generation of leaders. We need to tell people who we are and what we stand for. But also, now it's put up or shut up time for the Republican Party.
Well,
and in 6 months, if groceries are expensive, if the Ukraine war hasn't ended.
You say you need a new leader. Who is the new leader?
It's on Donald Trump.
Who's the leader of the Democrat Party?
That's on these people who want to run for office to emerge. We've got some great governors, Gretchen Whitmer, Wes Moore, Josh Shapiro.
What about Kamala?
Some great folks in the Senate.
Is Kamala running again? Do you back her if she does?
I don't know. That's up to her.
You don't know. You don't know, Tommy. You're a big shot with a big podcast. If Kamala runs again, you don't know if you're going to back her?
No, I'm going to decide at the time based on who's running.
You're going to wait.
Yes.
You're going to wait. What an endorsement.
That's crazy to you?
You're going to wait.
Okay.
She's not good enough for you. So who is good enough? Gavin? He's
Jesse,
lit his whole state on fire.
Jesse, it feels a little early for an endorsement. No one's announced that they're in the race, right? We got 2 years. We got the midterm elections. Democrats need to show who they're for, what they're fighting for, and then hold Donald Trump's feet to the fire. He promised to end the war in Ukraine on day one. Let's see him do it. He promised to bring down the price of groceries. Let's see him do it.
You know, I'm mad about the eggs. We agree. I can't get eggs in New Jersey.
Why can't you find any eggs?
If it's Trump's fault, we're going to hold his feet to the fire. What's up with Michelle Obama, by the way?
She's great. What's up with wait, a weekend anchor getting the Pentagon job, and you're stuck here talking to me?
I can't afford the pay cut.
You have a much bigger show.
I can't afford the pay cut. What's up with Michelle, though? Don't you think she should have gone to the Carter funeral or the inauguration?
I don't know. I don't do her scheduling. I think she can live her life how she wants. She's a former first lady.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Tommy.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. We played all the hits.
That's great. All the best conspiracies. I appreciate it.
And they were all true.
I am glad that this idea that Democrats shouldn't go on Fox, and maybe you would disagree with this, but that we shouldn't elevate their platform is starting to go away. Fox is the biggest network out there. Like it or not, and we don't. We do not like it. But this myth that the media is controlled by the liberals is just not true. Fox has the biggest viewership. It's bigger than MSNBC. It's certainly bigger than CNN. Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, The Daily Wire. These are people with the biggest podcasts, reaching bigger audiences certainly than Fox. Twitter, Facebook, Meta, TikTok, these are all platforms with CEOs who are cuddling up to Donald Trump. They control the information, they control the platforms. And so if we are not actively fighting back against that, we are losing. And I love what Tommy Vietor had to say, calling out the ridiculousness of Jesse Watters and making sure he knows, and Republicans know, and that audience knows, the onus is on Donald Trump. It's put up or shut up time. Eggs prices, are they lower? Are the egg prices, have they gone? Oh, they haven't gone down. Oh, they're about to go up, actually. Oh, border crossings, there's more under Donald Trump than Joe. It seems like all of these promises are already crumbling. But what else can we expect from a con man? And what else can we expect but bad defense from Jesse Watters? He's really trying to play himself into a cabinet role here, being a ridiculous Fox host. That's all it takes. Just look at Pete Hegseth. And with all this conversation about DEI and qualifications and wokeness in the workplace, or whatever Republicans are trying to push a nonsense narrative about, it's a real distraction from the actual disqualified hiring going on right now in Donald Trump's cabinet. And that is exactly what Joy Reid had to say in a great clip I want to check out right here.
But we begin tonight with Make America White Male Dominated Again, starting with the federal government workforce and federal contractors. Now, you may have noticed a theme, a certain buzzword from Donald Trump and many of his cabinet nominees.
We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Ensuring readiness and meritocracy is front and center.
Return our country to the merit system, you know?
We must be the ultimate meritocracy.
Yes. 3 white men talking about the importance of merit in roles they're all unqualified for. Donald Trump and his nominee for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and nominee for CIA Director John Ratcliffe. It's an especially dubious concept for Trump in particular, since this self-made man, in scare quotes, reaped about $413 million from his father Fred's real estate empire at birth, and then dodged taxes all along the way of his career. That Donald Trump has some, feelings about merit and diversity, which according to Trump and MAGA World counts as inherently qualified white men who deserve every job, losing out to people who are not white men and therefore inherently unqualified diversity hires. And with those grievances in mind, Trump repealed Lyndon Johnson's 1965 Executive Order 11246, which forbade federal contractors from discriminating on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity. It granted the Labor Department the power to enforce its provisions through a contracting standards office and has for decades been used by presidents of both parties to improve workplace standards across the country. The executive order, which Johnson signed a year after the Civil Rights Act of 1964, required that employers who accept federal contract money take affirmative action not to discriminate against job applicants or workers. And as of this week, it is no more. And tonight, as of about 2 hours ago, all federal diversity, equity, and inclusion employees have been placed on paid leave following the replacement executive order Trump signed Tuesday night, claiming to restore merit-based opportunity. Now, again, merit is a curious thing to focus on, since many of Trump's own cabinet picks have been deemed the least meritorious and least qualified individuals to ever be nominated for their posts. There is political Nepo baby Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to run the Department of Health and Human Services, despite having no health care expertise. And South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem for Homeland Security Secretary, who's so qualified, she's banned from tribal lands, making up 12% of her state because of how flagrantly she's offended indigenous tribes. There's Trump's pick for Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Where to begin on her merit? The Wall Street Journal reported last week that in Tulsi's meeting with Republican Senator James Lankford, she couldn't clearly articulate what the role of Director of National Intelligence entails. And when she met with Republican Senator Mike Rounds, she seemed confused about a key U.S. national security surveillance power that she would be charged with overseeing. And who could forget Trump's choice for FBI Director Kash Patel? Like Gabbard, he hasn't had a confirmation hearing yet, but he submitted a background questionnaire for senators on the Judiciary Committee. The New York Times notes one of the most intriguing lines in his reference to participating in the American Bar Association's Judicial Intern Opportunity Program, a diversity initiative.
If you want to look at DEI hiring, look at Donald Trump's cabinet. And as I've seen repeated many times, and it always cracks me up, which it shouldn't because it's just sad, Pete Hegseth isn't even a DEI hire. He's a DUI hire. Pete might want to put down the G&Ts, put down the margaritas, the couple martinis at lunch if he wants to be our SecDef, which please don't let that happen. Yeah, that's what someone who's not qualified looks like. Does Donald Trump care? No. None of these words have meaning anymore, but they do when we use them to call him out, and that is what we are going to do on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.